Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to 365 Days of Love and Miracles with A Course in Miracles. My name is Arlene Garris, and I am so glad that you are here. Please remember to listen right until the very end because we have a special treat for you. And if you enjoyed today's video, please click like and subscribe down below because this helps others to find us on YouTube. Today's lesson is lesson number 104. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. This is another lesson teaching us that happiness is our function here. If we are love, then happiness belongs to us. Let's read today's lesson. Today's idea continues with the thought that joy and peace are not but idle dreams. They are your right because of what you are. They come to you from God, who cannot fail to give you what He wills. Yet there must be a place made ready to receive His gifts. They are not welcomed gladly by a mind that has instead received the gifts it made where His belong as substitutes for them. Let's talk about it. We have been told over and over again that God's will for each one of us is perfect happiness. That is what belongs to each one of us in truth. Yet must there be a place made ready to receive His gifts. We have to ready our hearts in order to receive these gifts of perfect happiness. The question is, how do we get ourselves ready? Let's read on. Today, we would remove all meaningless and self-made gifts which we have placed upon the holy altar where God's gifts belong. His are the gifts that are our own in truth. His are the gifts that we inherited before time was, and that will still be ours when time has passed into eternity. His are the gifts that are within us now, for they are timeless, and we need not wait to have them. They belong to us today. Let's talk about it. These gifts are ours today, but in order to receive them, we need to remove all meaningless and self-made gifts. We have talked a lot about what some of these self-made gifts are. They are gifts of the ego, things like fear, self-doubt, guilt, lack of forgiveness. These all block us from being able to receive God's special gifts. The way to remove them is through forgiveness. Let's read on. Therefore, we choose to have them now, and know in choosing them in place of what we made, we but unite our will with what God wills, and recognize the same as being one. Our longer practice periods today, the hourly 5 minutes given truth for your salvation, should begin with this. I seek but what belongs to me in truth, and joy and peace are my inheritance. Let's talk about it. We choose to have them now. They are already ours. We don't need to wait for them. We don't need to do anything. We just choose to have them now. Imagine that it's Christmas time or our birthdays, and we have this bounty of gifts that are laid out for us to unwrap and take for ourselves. We don't need to do anything. We don't have to earn them. We don't have to be super good. We don't have to be special. They are ours for the taking. I seek but what belongs to me in truth, and joy and peace are my inheritance. I invite you to close your eyes here if you're not driving and just let it sink into your very being. Let it sink into your spirit. Let's read on. I seek but what belongs to me in truth, and joy and peace are my inheritance. Joy and peace are my inheritance. Then lay aside the conflicts of the world that offer other gifts and other goals made of illusions, witnessed to by them, and sought for only in a world of dreams. All this we lay aside and seek instead that which is truly ours, as we ask to recognize what God has given us. We clear a holy place within our minds before His altar, where His gifts of peace and joy are welcome, and to which we come to find what has been given us by Him. We come in confidence today, aware that what belongs to us in truth is what He gives, and we would wish for nothing else belongs to us in truth. So do we clear the way for Him today by simply recognizing that His will is done already and that joy and peace belong to us as His eternal gifts. We will not let ourselves lose sight of them between the times we come to seek for them where He has laid them. This reminder will we bring to mind as often as we can. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. God's gifts of joy and peace are all I want. Let's talk about it. What are the conflicts of the world that are in your mind? What are the blocks that you have to accepting this message? It might be that you're worried about your job. It might be that there's something going on within your family. Maybe you're hoping for a promotion at work. I would invite you to journal this. Recognize that these are gifts of the ego, and also that they never bring us true happiness. All we get is momentary glimpses, and then we're chasing after the next goal. What are the steps we take to be able to access the gifts that God has given us? This lesson tells us that first we lay aside the conflicts of the world that offer other gifts. So you might want to journal. What are the conflicts of the world that might block you from receiving God's gifts? The second step is that we ask to recognize what God has given us. So we just close our eyes, say a little prayer that might go something like this. Dear God, please help me to recognize the gifts that you have given me. The third step is we come in confidence, aware that what belongs to us in truth is what He gives. We recognize the gifts when we see them, when we receive them. He's already given them to us. All we need to do is to open our spiritual eyes in order to be able to see them and receive them. The fourth step is simply recognizing that His will is done already and joy and peace belong to us as His eternal gifts. We have joy and peace forever. There you have it, folks. His will is done already. We have already received these precious gifts. I love how this lesson talks to us in many different forms to tell us what belongs to me in truth, what belongs to you, what belongs to all of us. They're stated over and over again throughout the course, but just in this lesson, we are told, joy and peace are our inheritance. They are your right. They belong to us today. They are truly ours. They have already been given us. They belong to us in truth. How many more times does God need to tell us that truth and joy and peace are our inheritance? They belong to us in truth. What an amazing gift we have been given when we embrace a spiritual way of looking at things. Everything is different. We don't need to worry about the problems and worries of the world. Today's practice, in addition to writing what blocks you might have to accepting God's gifts in your journal, I would also encourage you to just close your eyes and imagine what it would be like to receive these beautiful gifts. What would the world look like? What would it feel like in the very core of your being? Just write it all down in your journal and hold that vision, because the more you practice the course, the more that vision is going to come true for you. We are told that for our morning and evening practice, as well as our hourly practices, to stop and say to ourselves, I seek but what belongs to me in truth, and joy and peace are my inheritance. And then just sit with that idea. Lay aside all the conflicts of this world and allow yourself to enter in the peace and joy and happiness that are the gifts that God offers to us. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Thanks so much for listening right until the end, my friends. If you enjoyed today's video, please share the love, tell others about these videos, encourage them to start at lesson 1 and only do 1 lesson a day. Are you ready for our special treat? This is just a fraction of all the people that are sitting here waiting. It's now 5:30. We've just finished. We've been here since 12:30 and we're finally going home. Hallelujah! Yay! I seek but what belongs to me in truth. God's gifts of joy and peace are all I want. Have a joyful, peaceful day, my friends. I love you.